Guys, I'm sure by now you've probably already seen my review of Dark of the Moon, Transformers Dark of the Moon. So I'm gonna assume that if you're watching this video, you've seen the movie, and you know how it ends, and you know who dies and everything. So I'm gonna open the floor to a spoiler-packed discussion about the movie, about all the scenes in the movie. What we all thought. Where do I start? Obviously, how about we start with the big twist, with Sentinel Prime being just working for the Decepticons. I mean, that was just mind-blowing. I mean, he's literally the last person you'd expect to be a bad guy. The leader of the Autobots is a bad guy. And that... I bet those guys were high-fiving each other over that one, because that was just... That was a great twist. Let's talk about, like as I said in my review, I like that they gave Carly something to do in the final battle when she's talking to Megatron and ultimately told him he was Sentinel's bitch. That was really cool. That was really clever. I thought it was kind of cool to have a scene between like a Megatron, like a good discussion scene between Megatron and like a human. That was actually pretty clever. I like the way they did that. And I actually thought Megatron was the one who should have killed Sentinel. He did attack Sentinel, but ultimately it was Optimus who killed him. I thought Megatron should have just finished him off, and then Optimus could kill him. And the deaths in the film, we should probably talk about that. Obviously, Ironhide was the big one. And I remember, it was at the midnight, they did this at the midnight showing. They didn't do it as a 9 p.m. showing. The 9 p.m. showing wasn't full. I had a feeling not many people knew about it. The midnight showing was full. And everyone just went, when Ironhide died. Because there were a lot of scenes where everyone just went, like when... I'll get to that later, but I just... See, I kind of had an inkling he was gonna die, but not like that. Like, literally getting shot in the back and just melting completely. That was just horrific. And... So, but here's what I thought was gonna happen. When I saw the Super Bowl trailer, when Ironhide and the Dreads like drive into each other, crash and flip over, I thought there was like a family in the background, if you look very carefully. I thought what was going to happen was that was going to be the family from the first movie whose pool Ironhide crashed into, and he would like sacrifice himself to save them. Tell me in the comments if that would be really awesome or not, if that had happened. But, man, Ironhide going out like that was just... That was like the big shock of the movie, the big turning point. And I just felt at the midnight showing, the next scene after that had Sentinel Prime, and someone like behind me said douche. So clearly, if you mess with Ironhide, then you earn no respect, even if you are Leonard Nimoy. And Q, never really cared for him. Thought it was a little annoying. I didn't really care to see him go. The Wreckers I thought were a little annoying. I probably could have. I think, if anything, I thought there were a little too few casualties, and we don't really have evidence that Wheelie and Brains died. We just don't really see him die. The ship just crashed in the ocean. Had it exploded or something, then then they probably would have died. And I guess no Decepticons come out of that alive, so let's assume that they died. Okay, never mind then. And Shockwave, I didn't think he got enough to do. I could put to his anymore. When I first started Shockwave was going to be in this movie, I thought it was going to be like the Joker of Transformers. He was going to be like ruthless and just psychotic. And ultimately, he just showed up for once the game and disappeared. Showed up at the final battle, like didn't do a whole lot. That's the problem with Transformers. There's just so many Autobots, so many Decepticons. Some of you have to sacrifice development for some of them. I thought Megatron went down a little too easy, if I'm being honest. Like the fall, kind of like everyone says, the Fallen went down too easy in the last movie. I think Megatron could have put up more of a fight. Like even Starscream would have put up more of a fight. But speaking of which, I loved how pathetic Starscream's death was. I mean, it was just like he's like the most pathetic Decepticon there is. He's not going to go on this going. No, he's going to get blinded and then have his head split in half. That was just so fitting for just probably one of the most hated characters in Transformers. I know there are Starscream fans out there who are saying, "You idiot! You're so insensitive." And I like Starscream, don't get me wrong, but just, you know, it really fit his character. That was just the most pitiful. He got the most pitiful way to go. And like, I love that they like just literally every Decepticon's dead now. There's no way they could possibly continue this. It's like, that's why there should not be any more movies, because they literally look themselves into a corner. There's no way they can continue it. Cybertron's gone. There's no more Decepticons that we know of. But anyway, they could find a way to bring them back, but I don't want any more. I love Transformers, and I would love to see more, but after this, it would just be redundant. Like, same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean. As much as I love the series and as much as I'd like to see more, if you end it like this, then there's pretty much no way out. I actually, before the movie came out, I was looking on Wikipedia, the Wikipedia page, and someone had posted a brief synopsis of the movie, and said that at the end, Sam actually does propose to Carly. So I was expecting that at the end, and that didn't happen. So apparently, everyone on Wikipedia is a moron. The one time they said Santa Claus was a band member of the Somerset. I still trust Wikipedia, though. Judge me all you want. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Dark of the Moon, and what to you was the biggest shock moment of all, what your favorite scene was, who your favorite Autobots were. Oh wait, I forgot to mention. The scene where they're executing the Autobots, like one by one, and they're about to do Bumblebee. Oh my god, I really thought they were going to do it. I honestly thought they were going to kill off Bumblebee, and everyone in the theater at the minute shown was just going, no, don't, please! Like, I was like about to cry. I was just like, they're gonna do it. They're really gonna kill him off. And I really trusted that they would. Because it's the last one. Like, even when Optimus Prime died in Transformers 2, I was like, yeah, he's really dead. I kind of knew he would come back because it's Optimus Prime. And they couldn't even make a third one if he had died. But, man, that scene. I cried a lot at this movie. Like, when they're driving through Chicago and, like, Iridescent is playing, and just the devastation everywhere, and all those screaming people, and they cut out all the sound except for the song. I was just like, man. And, like, I was just in shock. I think that scene alone should earn this movie an R rating. Because there's some really disturbing images in the movie. Like, the part of the camera pans through the bus, and there's just, everyone is just, like, they have just giant holes in their chests, and they're just burnt and scarred and everything. This movie really should have gotten an R rating. I think that would have got a lot more respect. I think robot violence-wise, this movie had a lot of it. Like, just Shockwave's tongue got ripped out, like, Starscream's eye got ripped out, and Ironhide pretty much melted. But there was, like, so many, it was a pretty emotional viewing. There was, like, so much crying, and everyone just gasping, and I was just in shock at some scenes. And, like, when Starscream blew up the ship that supposedly had the Autobots on it, everyone was just like, no. And, like, when you first saw Starscream, like, before he blew up the ship, everyone was like, and I was saying to myself, oh my god, he's gonna kill them all, he's gonna kill them all. And I kind of knew he wasn't gonna, but, because in the trailers, there's obviously the problem with trailers is that you see footage of what happens at the end, and, like, you say at this point in the movie, like, I haven't seen this footage yet, they must survive. Well, I don't see him in any other footage, just that's probably gonna be it for him. That's kind of what I thought about Ironhide. Like, I thought Ironhide was gonna die. Pretty soon, like, to get to myself, okay, I don't see Ironhide in any footage of the final battle. He's probably toast. But there was something else. What's the other thing? Okay, Dylan. I should probably talk about Dylan. That was a pretty big shock. I kind of guessed he was going to be working for the Decepticons because Patrick Dempsey says like, oh yeah, he's like significant to the plot and he's like a really dark character. So like working for the Decepticons, just like that. But I was kind of shocked to see Patrick Dempsey doing this because he's just such a likable guy. I mean, I'm used to seeing him in like cutesy Disney movies. He was in Brother Bear 2, which is one I told you is my #1 guilty pleasure. It actually took me the second viewing to figure out that he actually died at the end of the movie. Like, he hit anything and electrocuted, and then he fell down. It's like, well, he can still be alive. But then I saw a second viewing, and the second time I paid more attention. It's like, oh yeah, he got electrocuted. He's dead. Like, there are a couple of things I missed the second viewing. Like, in the first viewing, I didn't hear the part where Sam said Chicago is ground zero, and I was like, oh man, stuff's getting real now. That was pretty true. Is there anything else to say? Because see, I want to know, like, at the end of the movie, because pretty much all the Decepticons are gone. Like, does Bumblebee still stay with Sam at the end of the movie? Because he was like guarding him in the first movie. In the other two movies, I kind of thought it was weird that he just ditched him and went off to help with the Autobots and the Nest team. That was kind of out of character. But I would assume Bumblebee, since there's probably no more Decepticons to kill or anything, that Bumblebee probably stays with Sam. That's all I got, because let me know in the comments what you thought, if you had any big shocks or anything. What was your favorite scene in the movie? Like, what surprised you the most? Like, what your favorite experience was? I very much look forward to hearing what you guys think. And Frenzy 27 is out.